does a woman's lay count matter, and what number would be considered too high in a long-term relationship? What's your opinion on that? He's going deeper into the question. She's clearly had like a lot of fun time. She's around about 29 years old, and it looks like she had a very fun time during university. She also went on a lot of trips away, going on holidays to Ibiza, Miami, different places like that.
Oh no!
So, what do we think about that, boy?
You're not gonna like my answer. I'm gonna say if she's not a virgin, then that's it. Again, I'm very extreme, you know. So like for me, I could potentially go down to something like 3 to 5 people, depending if that was like a long-term relationship. But if she's just been sleeping around and stuff like that, like I don't like girls that have one-night stands. She has to have very low lay count or be a virgin.
Sam, you're in a long-term relationship. Talk to us about that, and give a little bit of advice on taking someone seriously, investing in someone, etc.
So yeah, my opinion on lay count, does lay count matter? I think one, it depends on the age of the girl you're dating, because if you're dating a 30-year-old or even like 25, 26-year-old, it's very unlikely that they're gonna be a virgin, to be honest. Because like these days, most girls do lose it whenever they're pretty young. First boyfriend, I think the average age for a first boyfriend is like around about 17 now. And some are younger, some are 14, 15. So it's very, very unlikely unless you can find a very, very young one to actually find that. For me personally, if I'm dating someone, I think it depends on, I'd always just ask like kind of what was their lifestyle like before me? Like look at their friends, look at what they're up to, you know? Because if they've had a couple of boyfriends, it was in that kind of scenario and it just didn't work out, then yeah, I mean, I would be fine dating someone like that. However, if they were going out, partying a lot, having a lot of one-night stands, then I wouldn't consider them for a long-term relationship, because they're a lot more likely to cheat. They're a lot more likely to have maybe gone through a bit trauma through those experiences. So yeah, it's just not going to lead to a kind of healthy relationship, really.
What about if the
I think it
guy
depends
that they
on the
had
context.
sex with, or you've known him basically, like know of him, and he's had sex with your girl? Would that turn you off?
If I know of him or if I was friends with him?
Both.
If I was friends with him, I wouldn't date the girl in the first place. If I know of him, and they're in a relationship and it was like years later, yeah, it wouldn't put me off.
But what if you saw the guy in a club and then he's kind of like saying hi to your girl and he's saying hi to you?
He's going up to
wouldn't
your
that-
girl and he's double kissing her on the cheek, giving her a big hug.
How you doing, babe?
That's just disrespectful.
I've actually been that guy.
Yeah, but what if like that's what you see,
Yeah.
and let's say like even if the guy is being respectful, but if you see him like all the time and stuff, and he's always out, and you see him let's say once a month.
I've never personally been in that situation, so I don't know how I feel. But if I imagine me being there, it would feel uncomfortable. Like it would probably bring up feelings of just like, just not. I just wouldn't be alright with it, really. I'd probably talk to her about it. I mean, she probably would just be like, "Oh, well, I love you. Like that was in the past. Like give you all that kind of stuff," which they normally say. But just having that situation around, it would probably make me second guess the relationship if it continued. If it was a one-off thing, maybe I could. I'll probably deal with that. But then if it was like an ongoing thing, like he lived in my hometown, and I was always kind of seeing the guy out, then yeah, it'd probably be a bit weird.
I'm laughing because I know a situation where, from the dancing scene where there was this girl who got into a relationship with a guy, and she brought him along. Now this girl had slept with, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 guys,
Yeah.
And she comes up and she brings him over, and then she goes and says hello to all these guys, like hug, like double kiss on the cheek, starts dancing with a few of them as well. And he's just like there on the side, just watching his girl dancing with these one after the other guys that she slept with previously. And I just thought it was hilarious. And then I said at the time to the girls that I live with, like, that relationship ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna last, because I could, the minute that I saw that, I was like, ugh. If you're the guy and if you're in that scenario, the first thing that's gonna go in your head is like, how do you know that guy, right? And she'll probably say, oh no, I just known him from dancing. But if you actually dig deep and you go down past the first layer and you start asking more questions, get a little bit more into it, you'll find out that she's smashed them all.
Just a slag.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
this is why
think
I
men
said to
by
you boys,
nature-
like, this is why I don't like women that had a big body count, because of that reason. Like, I prefer girls that are virgins or had maybe 1 or 5 maximum. And that is, to be honest, like, I met chicks that had 2 at like 23 years old. So I'm not sure. It's very easy to meet those girls, though. I don't necessarily agree that it's difficult to find a girl that's a virgin or had 1 or 2 partners. You probably just have to look in different places. I think if you're in the West, in the Western society, it's fucking difficult because everyone has sex, let's say, when they're fucking 15, 16, right?
Yeah.
But if you go to the East,
Yeah, it might be slightly different.
So no, I was just about to say, mate, doing his with a woman present is brilliant. Her face, mate. What do they mean? She's got an earphone, like she's got my other earphone.
Yeah, I can see.
I love it. I love it, mate. That's why. Sorry, boys, if you see me like going like this, I'm obviously creasing because she's like, what?
So what's your opinion
They
on it,
can't.
Lord? Like,
They can't think like that.
no, but what's your opinion? So obviously, the situation at hand was a guy is in a relationship with this girl. He's found out that she's got a lot of history. She's been with a lot of guys, and he's wondering how much is too much and whether he should keep taking her seriously. What's your opinions on that, Jordan, and the unknown woman in the background?
It's so difficult. I'm Spanish and I don't know how to express this in English.
Yeah, ideally
Language,
English, because I
Yes.
I don't speak Spanish, but maybe some of our listeners do. But no, please express your opinion. Nay.
Okay, you asked for if you want to involve with a girl who have a long historial, no?
Yeah, she's been with loads of guys.
But this is like a guy who have a long historial, no?
So now we're getting there. Go on, keep going.
How's it?
It's the same. Or it's not the
how is
same.
it the same?
that's not even the same at the
Not at
slightest.
all.
Why not?
Yes, love this shit. Right, go on.
Why
So
not?
I'll tell you why it's not the same.
Oh,
The
come
reason
on.
the reason why it's not the same is that men and women, number one, are completely different. Number
They're not
two
equal.
is that the way that we approach having sex with someone is completely different. So, for example, a guy can be completely...
You look different.
No. I'll
You
explain.
You see different, but it's the
Hold
same.
on. Let me explain
You
real
just
quick.
said
Let me
you
get to
look
the point.
different.
When a guy sleeps with a woman, right? He can sleep with... If she looks quite good, he can sleep with anyone. But he doesn't necessarily get emotionally attached to them. He's not invested in them on a kind of deeper emotional level. That's why any guy, like if you're a woman, you could walk into a club, you could sleep with 20 dudes, like click your fingers, you'll find a guy that will want to sleep with you. He gets emotionally invested in different ways. So some of those ways might be investing in you as a person, spending more time. Like one of the biggest things is if I wake up next to someone and I want them to be around and I want to spend the day with me and do non-sexual activities with that individual, then I am getting more emotionally invested in that person because it's become not just sex, it's become something a bit more than that. I actually enjoy spending time with them. Whereas like with women, you have to get us to a certain level, certain degree, like before sleeping with a guy. Unless you're emotionally traumatized, hurt, maybe you've slept with a gazillion guys and you just don't give give a fuck.
Unless you're a slut, basically, but that's a slut, and nobody really wants a slut.
Bad relationship with your dad, that sort of thing, you know.
So would you say it's the same, or would you say it's different?
I say the same because I think more like a man than a woman.
Oh,
But
no, don't say that.
yes, true.
You feel more
I
like a
think
man
that
than a
I
woman.
can
What?
go. Yes, but I think that I can go to the bed with someone and not have feelings for everything. It's only have fun. That's it.
What,
Can
like
I
a
ask
bit of
you
meat,
So
a,
right?
a personal
Or like
question?
just a piece of meat. Oh,
Yes.
A piece of meat.
How many guys have you been with?
Like a relationship,
Like
Or-
sexually wise?
No, sexually.
I knew, but not too much.
Like an estimate.
10.
Right. You
So
got
that's
the
30
answer.
then.
So why do women constantly lie about their if it didn't matter, then why do they constantly lie about their
Sam knows. Sam clocked it. I love that.
if it's not a big deal, right?
So,
And there's no issues, like why do they constantly lie about the amount of partners they've slept with?
Because they get shamed by it, right?
No, I can give you a names if you want.
no, I do. Like Jose, they all sound the same. Jose, like, what's it?
So would you
Anyway.
would you say that if a girl's been with like 100 plus bodies, right, that's not going to play an effect on her and the way that she acts? Because I know guys even in this stream right now that have 100 plus bodies, and it still doesn't stop them from having a good, meaningful relationship. It still doesn't affect them and create too much drama, you know.
100%. And I think if a chick had more than a couple of guys, usually there is some sort of an emotional damage, or she gets kind of like way too used to it, and it doesn't really mean anything anymore to her. So then she cannot pair bond for a long-term relationship in the future.
Obviously, you just explained, Max, how reasons it will like psychologically affects a girl to do that. But how does it affect you knowing that they have been? Like, or is it purely because you know they have that psychological damage? Or is it the thought of that act?
100%, because I've been
the
working on myself for a long time, and I don't want the chick to have loads of sexual partners because I have to deal with all the fucking guys in the past. I'm gonna have to deal with all the fucking boyfriends basically, and she's gonna have all of this trauma in her head, and it's just gonna be a lot more harder for me to have a normal drama-free fucking relationship. So this is why I always pick girls that have a low body count. I don't mind having sex with those girls, cool, but I'm not gonna take it seriously.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things as well is like, is she gonna be able to love you the same way that she's loved other guys in the past?
Right.
And this to me is probably the biggest thing. Is like there might be some people that you say you start off, you're an unknown guy, right? You've not built anything with them, and you find each other attractive. You start getting, sexual together. Then you start taking her a little bit more seriously. Then you find out, oh, she's fell in love with 3-4 different dudes. She's given her whole self to them. She's thought, I want to get married. I want to be with that person. I've gone on holidays with them. I've, in some cases, even had a kid with them, or did this, that, and the other with them. She's invested so much. So all of that damage that's occurred, she's not going to invest in you as much as she would have with the guys in the past. And it will take you much, much longer to get that kind of investment out of her, because now she's guarded, now she's conceited, now she's like, I can't stand this guy. I need to guard myself. I need to protect myself. Like, we're not there to save you. It's like the old J. Cole song, like, don't save her, she don't want to be saved. And all these guys have this kind of Prince dynamic where it's like, I need to save her, I need to show her that I'm right. Like, why do you have to prove yourself? Because she damaged herself. You didn't damage her.
I see this all the time with chicks that have, let's say, been cheated on or something like that. There's just a lot of drama, and then they just keep talking about the ex-boyfriend like all the fucking time. Like, they never shut the fuck up about it. And it's like, I've dated girls like that like one chick has been cheated on. The guy had a threesome with both of her best friends, basically. and she is like, she just hates men basically, right? So just like it's so difficult to kind of recover from that.
And they're
And to
obsessed with
give her,
they're obsessed with
yes,
them.